This man Tony Melendez, he doesn't have any arms at all.
Tony 他出生以后他没有胳膊。
But he's a musician, I said, and do you know which instrument he plays? He plays the guitar.
但我告诉你，他是一个音乐人，并且他的乐器是吉他。
So of course, if you play the guitar, you have to play with your hands and your arms, right?
弹吉他必须要用手来弹，对不对
？He plays with his toes.
他用脚趾头来弹。
Think about it. No arms, but he plays with his toes, and he plays amazingly. He plays professionally. He plays amazingly.
想一想，这个人生下来没有胳膊，他弹吉他，并且弹得非常好。
He shares with the audience his faith in Jesus Christ, what Jesus Christ means to him, and then he skillfully plays the guitar with his bare feet.
他演出，然后他跟听众来分享耶稣基督对他的恩典，然后他会用这个脚趾来弹吉他。
Think about it. Can you imagine the tremendous amount of effort, the tremendous amount of frustration and determination it took in order to learn how to play the guitar with your feet, with your bare feet in that way?
你能想象到他付出了多大的努力，多大的经历多大的挫折，还有要有多大的信心才会用脚趾头来弹吉他弹得这么好。
Something like that in faith as well too. We must make an effort in faith to become whole.
我们的信心也是一样，我们必须要努力，把我们的信心，让我们的信心来成长。
The Lord tells us to ask, seek, and knock when it comes to faith. The Lord tells this man to take action, get up, pick up your mat, and walk.
谈到我们的信心的时候，我们的主告诉我们要问，我们要寻求，我们要敲门，像我们的主告诉这个病人一样，要努力，要自己要动，要站起来，然后走。
And once this man had faith, that is when this miracle happened. Once he made an effort of faith, that is when he was healed.
当这个病人有了这个信心，并且做他自己的努力的时候，他就这个神迹就成了。
If you look in verse 9, it says, "At once the man was cured. He picked up his mat and walked."
所以第9节我们看到那人立刻痊愈，拿起褥子来走了。
Really, how amazing is this miracle? He was an invalid, stuck underneath the 5 covered colonnades for 38 years.
所以你想想，这个神迹是多么的神奇！这个人在5个廊子下面待了38年。
It said Jesus Christ came to this man. He told him, "Pick up your mat and walk," and he was able to do exactly that. It was an amazing miracle.
这真是一个神迹。耶稣来到这个人跟这个人说，拿起你的褥子走吧，然后他就被治愈了。
This is the same miracle that Jesus is continuing to do for us every day in our lives.
耶稣基督在今天每一天还在做这个同样的神迹。
We were the ones stuck inside of the world, living in any which way underneath the comforts of the 5 covered colonnades for 38 years, blaming other people for our problems.
我们有没有像我们是不是像这个病人一样，在我们的廊子下面待了很多年，然后来埋怨别人，因为我们的问题，我们来埋怨别人。
But then Jesus Christ came into our lives, and He gave us the greatest gift, the sacrifice of His life, the gift of salvation for our sins, and gave us true freedom from this world.
但是耶稣基督来到我们中间。给了我们最好的礼物，就是他的生命和他的救恩，让我们能够从这个罪里面，从这个世界的罪里面逃脱出来。
And with Jesus in our lives, because of Jesus in our lives, we can truly pick up our mats and walk with God.
因为耶稣在我们生命里面，我们可以真正的站起来，拿起我们的褥子，然后我们跟着神来走。
It's a miracle that happened 2,000 years ago, and that is the same miracle that's happening every day inside of our lives with Jesus.
这个圣经里面讲的神迹是2000年以前，但是这个神迹现在在我们的生活中每天都在发生。
To walk in Christ is completely different than being stuck inside of this world.
我们和耶稣一起来走，是和我们被陷在这个世界里面是完全不一样的。
Those of you who have accepted Jesus Christ into your lives, you know this very well.
在座当中，如果你接受了耶稣基督，你会明白我在说的什么。
How amazing and how great is this God of ours, and how different is our lives because of Jesus is different from our lives from what it was before.
我们有伟大，我们这个神奇的神，当我们 当我把他接到我们的生命里面的时候，我们的生命是不是有了很大的改变？
For this invalid man, there's no comparison. The life of an invalid stuck for 38 years under the 5 covered colonnades to the life active, running and walking. There's no comparison at all.
比较一下这个病人被他的被治愈以前的生活和他被治愈以后的可以行走奔跑的生活。
And for us, there's absolutely no comparison at all also. The life inside of the world is completely different from the life inside of Jesus.
对我们也一样，我们没有办法比较。这个我们接受耶稣以前的生命，和我们接受耶稣以后的生命是完全没法比较的。
And really, this is something we should praise God for every day in our lives and remember what God has done for us.
所以我们在每天的生活里面，我们都应该感谢神给我们这个生命这么大的改变。
But the problem is, when you really think about it, how many of us so easily forget this miracle that's been done in our lives?
但是我们问自己的时候，我们是不是有常常的忘掉了这个神给我们这个神迹？
Even in today's passage, there's something like that.
今天的我们的经文里面也有类似的情况。
I'm not going to go through it, but if you look basically from the end of verse 9 all the way through verse 13, there's sort of this back and forth of the Jewish leaders who opposed the miracle on the grounds that it broke the Sabbath.
我们如果从第9节看到第15节的时候，我们就会看到这个犹太人的领袖，他们不喜欢这个神迹，因为这个神迹违反了安息日的律法。
We can just read verse 10 to see
那我们
that.
只读一下第10节。
So the Jews said to the man who had been healed, "It is the Sabbath. The law forbids you to carry your mat."
所以犹太人对那医好的人说：“今天是安息日，你拿褥子是不可的。”
It's interesting. Actually, picking up the mat was not breaking any biblical Sabbath regulations.
这个很有意思。那个犹太教里面，你拿起褥子是不犯犹太人的律法的。
But it was a rabbinical code, a code that the rabbis gave to the people, that you couldn't carry something from one place to another on the Sabbath. That was the rabbinical code at the time.
但是犹太教律法说，在安息的时候，你不能搬东西，你不能把一个东西拿起来然后放到另一个地方。
In any case, whatever it was, there was this opposition that comes from the Jews, even despite what happened in this miracle.
所以不管怎么样，当这个神迹发生了以后，还是有犹太人来反对这个事情。
It's an interesting opposition because it really has nothing to do with the miracle itself.
所以我们想一想，这个犹太人的反对是不是很有意思？他们的反对跟这个神迹没有任何的关系。
It's about some rabbinical code of Sabbath that they had that they're opposing this miracle.
只是因为他们遵守这个犹太教的一些安息日的律法，所以他们不喜欢这个神迹。
They're failing to see the miracle for what it is, and they're looking at something else about it, and they're confusing the situation here.
这些犹太人他混淆了这个神迹，他们不能看到神迹真正代表的东西。
Actually, when you think about it, this is often what we do in faith as well.
当我们想一想的时候，我们是不是有时候也会这个样，像这犹太人这样？
Sometimes as Christians, we get stuck really in the regulation of being a Christian.
有时候我们会被一些基督徒的这个规定而混淆。
Jesus Christ coming into my life, rather than looking at it as a miracle, it just becomes a talking point about my life in the history of this church.
耶稣来拯救我们，有时候只变成了我们好像我们生活中历史上的一个事件。
What happens is I remember that Jesus Christ came into my life and it was a miracle, but I really forget what that miracle was all about.
我记得耶稣来到我生命中是一个神迹，但是我忘了这个神迹到底它的意义是什么。
What I mean is, even when you look at today's miracle, most people, they look at this miracle and they see outwardly at this man being healed of being an invalid.
今天很多人看到这个神迹，他们只是看到了这个病人被治愈了。
But going back to the core of the message, Jesus is looking at much more than just the miracle of being healed from this physical ailment of being an invalid.
但是当我们深刻来学习这段圣经的时候，我们知道，耶稣其实 并不是仅仅想让这个人来行走。
Jesus was looking for an act of faith. He said, "Get up, pick up your mat, and walk."
耶稣想要看到的是，有信心的一个行动，站起来拿起褥子然后走。
Now, people look outside at this miracle of walking, but God, when He looks at the miracle of our lives, He looks at the miracle of our hearts inside of our faith.
可能大多数人只会看到这个神迹的外边的结果，就是这个人会走，但是神来看到是想看到的是我们里面的神迹，就是我们的信心，我们信心的神迹。
Now, why does God look rather at the outside? He looks at the inside of our hearts.
神不看外边的表现，而是看我们内心的信心。
The reason is because He is the Creator. He's the one who created us with the spirit and soul inside of us.
这个原因是因为神是我们的创造者，他创造了我们。
The fall of man is this sinful world covering up the beautiful image in which God created us.
人的堕落是因为我们这个世界的罪掩盖了神最初给我们创造的美好的形象。
And the miracle of faith is opening up our hearts to Him and restoring that created image.
信心的神迹就是让我们的心，让我们的形象能够重新回到神创造我们时候的样子。
Now let's look at Genesis chapter 1 in verse 27.
我们看一下，创世纪第1章27节。创世纪第1章27节。
So God created man in His own image, in the image of God He created him, male and female He created them.
上帝就照着自己的形象造人，乃是照着他的形象造男造女。
You know, a couple summers ago, I took my family to Yosemite. It's one of the most beautiful places in the world.
2年以前夏天，我带我家人去优胜美地这国家公园。
And I want to take them there because my parents had taken me there a number of times when I was young.
很漂亮的地方，我带我的小孩去，因为我小的时候爸爸妈妈也带我去过。
As you drive to Yosemite, depending on the route, you have to kind of go through these dry sort of plains and farmland. It's not really exciting stuff.
你去优胜美地的时候，在路上，它很可能会经过一些非常干旱的、非常荒芜的一些土地。
But once you go over and then you hit Yosemite Valley, it's like you're in a completely different world.
但当你翻过山到优胜美地这个谷地的时候，是完全到了一个另外的世界。
You can see the flowing rivers which the kids play in. You can see these amazing, gorgeous mountains, animals, trees, plants, clear skies. It's just amazing, just beautiful when you go in and see it. You've got to see it if you haven't already.
如果你没去的话，应该去看一看。你会看到非常漂亮的河流、小溪，让孩子们可以在里面玩。你会看到非常漂亮的山，还有树，还有各种植物，还有动物。
If you go to a place like that, you just really think and you realize how amazing God is to create something so beautiful.
当你到那儿的时候，你会感叹神创造的伟大。
You go to a place like that and you think, how could this just be created by random? Someone must have painted it there.
去看的时候，你会想，这怎么能是偶然形成呢？好像就是神亲自画出来的一样。
In Romans it says that it's through His creation that you can know that God truly exists.
所以在罗马书里面，保罗教导我们说，通过看神的创造，你会知道神确实是存在的。
Now, if you go to a place like Yosemite, you know that God really exists and how great it is that God can create a place like this.
你去优胜美地的时候，你会知道神确实是存在的，并且神确实是伟大和神奇的，创造了这么一个美好的地方。
But among all the greatest of creation, in verse 27, He created man in His own image. But if you look in verse 31.
我们知道，在神所有的创造中，神创造的是人。我们刚才27节读到了，但是我们再读31节。
God saw all that He had made, and it was very good. And there was evening, and there was morning, the sixth day.
创世纪1章31节，上帝看着一切所造的都甚好，有晚上有早晨，是第6日。
So you guys know Genesis well. At the end of each day, He saw all that He had made, and it was good.
所以大家熟悉创世纪，我们知道神每天创造一切，然后在 那天结束的时候，他看到，他就说创造是好的。
But God saw when He created man, He said it was very good.
但当神创造了人之后，神用了词是说，神说非常好。
Mankind is God's ultimate creation.
所以人是神最终的创造。
Now, why was it very good? It's because we ourselves were created in God's image.
所以为什么神说非常好、甚好呢？因为我们是照着神的形象来创造的。
It's just like God created this beautiful world, He wanted us to be part of creating this beautiful world also.
就像神创造了一个美好的世界，他也想让我们在这个美好的世界里面。
You know, I've traveled the world, many countries, but among the most beautiful places I've been to, one I said was Yosemite. The other one is the Great Wall in China.
我去过很多地方，最漂亮的地方，一个是我看到最漂亮的地方，一个是刚才说的优胜美地，第二个是中国的长城。
The Great Wall, when people think about it, it's like the ultimate creation of man, right? It was a very, very difficult wall to build. It was an amazing feat, really.
所以你想一下，长城确实是人类最伟大的创造之一。
And if you go to visit the Great Wall now, you see that it's this amazing creation, but it's also set against some of the most beautiful nature in China.
今天你去看长城的时候，不光看到长城这个确实是这个伟大的建筑，并且长城是在这个非常漂亮的地方山上建的。
It's so magnificent. You can see basically the ultimate creation of man set against this stunning, beautiful nature of the creation of God.
所以你看长城的时候，会看到这个人的伟大的创造是长城，但是这个人的创造是在神的创造里面，这个漂亮的风景和山脉。
And when you see something like that, you think about how great is this image that God gave man.
所以你看到这个时候，你会思考，这个神给我们的形象是什么样的
？That every single person He created, you and I, we have this great potential inside of us in that image in which He created us.
神创造了我们，所以每一个人我们都会做非常我们都有潜力来做非常大的事情。
It's that every single person, we have this potential to do something great. We're not just people that are meant to wallow inside of this sinfulness of this world.
我们每个人都可以做很伟大的事情，我们都不应该沉溺于这个罪恶的世界里。
We are God's people meant to bring out this amazing image in which He originally created us in.
所以我们每个人都应该。我们活出来，神给我们创造这个伟大的、这个美好的形象。
Get up, pick up your mat, and walk.
起来，拿起褥子，走。
Change our perspective, change our heart, and ultimately have faith first.
改变我们的视角，改变我们的心。但是首先我们要改变的是改变我们的信心。
This beautiful, beautiful miracle that happened today is not something necessarily that we see outward and right away that God has before us.
这个神给我们创造这个奇迹，我们有时候不容易看到。
But the beautiful miracle is taking the first step of having faith. That's what God looks at. He looks at the image. He looks at the image of faith inside of us. That first step of faith.
第一要看到这个神创造神迹的美丽的神迹的这个第一步就是我们要有信心。这个神要让我们的信心增强，然后我们才能看到神的创造。
I want to end today on a story told by Wade Hughes Sr. He's a longtime pastor.
我最后结束之前，我想讲一个故事。一个牧师叫 Wade Hughes， 他讲了一个故事。
So he tells a story. There was a weak and sickly man, and his condition grew worse. His sickness and he was very weak. And he couldn't even afford a doctor.
所以这个牧师讲一个故事，有一个人非常病得很厉害，非常弱，但是他没钱来看医生。
He also lived sort of in the deep backwoods inside of the forest in an old log cabin.
这个人呢，也住在林子深处，住在一个小木屋里面。
And out in front of his cabin was this huge boulder in front of his cabin.
在他房子前面有很大的一个大石头。
And one night, he had a vision.
有一天晚上，神给他一个异象。
God told him, go out and push this massive rock that is in front of your house all day long, day after day, and do it and don't stop pushing that rock.
神给他的意向就是说，明天早上起床之后，你要去推你门口这个大石头，每天推不动为止，直到神让他停止，他就不要推。
So this man, he got up early in the morning, and with great excitement, he began pushing that rock for as long as he could.
然后这个人第二天早上就很兴奋的出门，起来以后就开始推这个大石头，一直推到他没有劲儿为止。
And he got tired, so he'd rest, and then after he rested, he would push some more again.
他累了之后休息一会儿，然后有劲儿了以后继续推这个大石头。
And so the vision was so real to him that it inspired this man to keep pushing against that rock. It gave him some kind of meaning in his life.
这个人从神得到这个意象是这样清楚，所以他下定决心，就不管他多累，他都要不停的每天来推这个大石头。
So each day he pushed just a little bit harder and a little bit longer.
这每一天他推的时间稍微长一点，推的。
And day after day he pushed, and the days rolled into weeks and months, and still even after months he was faithfully pushing against the rock.
所以他每天都推了，每天推了好几个月都不停。
And so, now it's been about 8 months of him pushing the rock, right?
大约他推了8个月以后。
And so, the man began to be tired, and he started to, maybe he started to doubt, the vision and his dream that he had.
8个月以后，这个人确实累了，他有点怀疑自己的当时的意象到底是不是真的。
And so, that's when he actually went out, took a measuring stick, and he measured from the front of his house to, the big boulder.
所以他拿一个尺，他量一量，从他那个前院那个围墙到这个石头到底有多远。
And so, of course, he wanted to see how far he pushed the rock.
他想看他到底把这个推了8个月，把石头推了多远。
And so, that's when he, for some more months, he kept pushing and measuring, and pushing and measuring.
然后呢，下面这几个月他不停的推一天，他就会量一量，推了多远。
And he realized that, the big boulder didn't move at all.
最后他发现这个大石头其实一动都没动。
Not even a little bit, not even a fraction of an inch.
一点都没动，就是一寸都没动。
And so, the man, he was very disappointed. He saw all that he worked for, and he really accomplished nothing, and he was just tired, and his dream, this vision of pushing the rock, it was sort of dashed because of that.
所以他非常失望，他推了好多月，然后他有这个非常清晰的神的意象，但是其实这个石头一点都没动，他什么也没有完成，什么也没有成就。
Down he went to his porch, and he was crying there on his porch about this.
所以他坐到他房子前面，他开始哭了。
And that's when Jesus came down and sat next to this man, and he said to this man, "Son, why are you sad?"
耶稣出现在他面前，跟他一起坐下，然后问他说：“孩子啊，你为什么这么难过呢？”
The man replied, "Lord, you know how sick and weak I am, and then the vision you gave me built up this false hope."
这个人就说：“主啊，你知道我有病，我有很弱的一个人，然后你给我这个意象，让我有这个幻想。
I have pushed with all that it was within me for many months, and that old rock is still right back where I started from."
所以这个人说：“我用我身体里面最后一点力气，我推了这个石头，推了好多个月，结果它一动都没动。”
But Jesus said to him, "I never told you to move the rock. I told you to push against the rock."
但是耶稣对他说：“我从来没说让你来挪动这个石头，我只是让你来推这个石头。”
And so Jesus told him to step in front of a mirror and look at himself.
耶稣说：“你到镜子前面去看一看自己。”
And so, obeying, he stepped in front of the mirror, and he was amazed. He was shocked.
这个人来到镜子面前，然后看到自己，然后他非常的惊讶。
He said, "How could I have missed this?"
他说：“我怎么会没有注意到呢？”
He had been so sickly and weak before, but what he saw in front of the mirror was a strong, muscular man.
之前他是非常的弱，有很多疾病，但是现在看到他自己镜里面是一个非常强壮、非常有肌肉的男人。
And he realized that he had not been coughing all night at all for many months.
然后他意识到自己已经很久没有在晚上咳
And
嗽
he had
了。
been feeling much better, and it was all because he was pushing, not moving the rock, but just pushing against the rock.
他意识到自己感觉比以前好很多，是因为他一直在推那个石头，虽然那个石头一动都没有动。
And the man realized that the plan of God was not to change the position of the rock, but to change him. God's plan was not for the rock, but it was for him himself.
然后这个人意识到，神对他的计划不是让他来改变这个石头，而是来改变他自己。神的计划不是为这个石头做的计划，而是为他自己、为这个人做的计划。
You know, it's like that in our lives as well too. Understand the plan. Trust what the Lord is saying to you.
所以我们要了解神的给我们的计划，我们要相信神对我们说的话。
Listen to God and do what He says. Do the work of obedience.
听从神，然后顺服的来做神给我们的工作。
It's not nearly so important that the rock in your life be moved as it is for you to push against the rock.
你生命中你推这个大石头，这个石头有没有动不太重要，最重要的是你有没有来推。
It's that when you push against the rock, you become strong, whether the rock moves at all.
当你推石头，不管石头动没动，你自己都会变得更加强壮。
It's also true. God, He wants us, this true image that He created us in, to come out.
神想让他创造给我们这个形象，能够从我们身上来体现出来。
Now, whether we're doing this or whether we're doing that inside of the world, what's important is that we have faith and we reveal His glory in what we're doing.
所以无论我们在这个世上做什么，最重要的是我们要有信心，我们要彰显出神的荣耀。
Now, reflecting on today's message, I hope that we won't just be people that are stuck inside of this world. You know, that's what sickness is. It's just being stuck and entrenched inside of this world.
我们思考一下今天我们讲这个神迹，我希望我们不要像那些病人一样，我们因为我们有疾病，我们被这个世界，我们陷入这个世界里。
Now, sickness is just God's creation, fallen and ruined inside of the temptation of this world, of Satan, of sinfulness.
我们的疾病就是神的创造被撒旦和我们的罪来遮盖的时候，我们就会有疾病。
On the seventh day, God finished His work and rested. Sabbath is a time for us to glorify and appreciate Him.
第7天，神完成了他的工就休息了，所以安息日是我们来敬拜神的彰显神荣耀的时候。
So how can we glorify and appreciate God?
我们怎么样来荣耀神？怎么样来感谢神呢
？We should be His testimony, showing the true image of God inside of us.
我们要做神的见证，我们从我们身上彰显出神的荣耀。
We can do this by following His command of Jesus to get up, pick up the mat, and walk.
我们彰显神给我们创造的形象，我们可以通过听从主耶稣的教导，我们站起来拿起褥子，然后我们要走。
When we do this, I hope that we can follow the path that God has laid out for us, a great path in our lives.
当我们做这个的时候，我们就会走神给我们安排的一个美好的路。
And I pray that we can be the ones to live for His glory and His kingdom.
我也祈求我们能够为他的神的国的荣耀，我们来过我们的生活。
Let's end in a word of prayer.
让我们祷告。